welcome to week 29 of the pregnancy vlog. This past week, I think overall it's not been the greatest week. I've not been feeling too great myself, but I was saying that it has gone quickly. It was Aiden's first week at his new job, and so that's been well, weird for both of us, obviously more so him, but he gets home a fair bit later now, so that's weird. And I've not been sleeping very well. I don't know whether that's, I don't think it's sort of related. I mean, he's not been sleeping too well earlier on in the week, just because of the whole like starting a new job and all everything associated with that. I don't really think it's related to that because I'm usually a pretty good sleeper, but I haven't been sleeping very well either, and then obviously that's not helped me how I've been feeling during the day. I tried, I've been like trying my pregnancy pillow and stuff. That's not really made much difference. It's more like, I think waking up, my hips are aching, like my hips and my lower back, and I just can't get comfortable, so I keep waking up. I would say tossing and turning, but it's quite difficult to toss and turn when you're this size, so not so much. But I guess sort of the last couple of days, well, yeah, probably the last 1 or 2 nights I've slept better, so hopefully that's going to continue. Oh yeah, so sort of Wednesday night time, I was in bed and just felt sick. I wasn't sick, I just felt sick, so couldn't sleep for a while because of that. I just didn't feel too great really. Thursday, thought not too bad. What did I do Thursday? Oh, Thursday morning and sort of early afternoon time, I was tired, but not too tired, just sort of normal tired. So did loads of flowers, got quite a bit done, thought great. And then by Thursday afternoon, like late afternoon, sort of yeah, probably about 4 o'clock-ish, just felt terrible, and it's really hard to explain like why. Just sort of really drained, really exhausted. Like I was sat on the sofa, I put the telly on, I just didn't have the energy to do anything. So that was weird, and it's like quite hard to explain like what it was. Then Friday, I thought I could have a reasonably quiet day anyway, because I hadn't felt so well the day before. Had a bit of a stressful start, was up really early because my phone woke me up, because the other receptionist at work had rang and left a voicemail to say she wasn't coming in because she was ill. And because we're only a small business, there's only one of us there, so you can't just not be there because then the business can't open. So I was like, oh no, I'm not going to have to go into work today. Like, I knew that, like, I'd felt awful yesterday, didn't want to go into work. But luckily there's another lady that's done some training. She hadn't previously had a day or any time really on her own running it, but she'd been doing some training ready for when I go on maternity leave. So I gave her a call, and luckily she was free. She does have another job, but she wasn't working that day, so she went in, and I was like, oh, thank goodness for that. I'd also been worrying because sort of Thursday, baby had been quiet again. And then Friday morning, because I was awake early, I was laid in bed for a good hour. And that's usually his active time first thing in the morning. There was just no movements at all. So I was really, I wouldn't say really worried, but I was getting concerned. Pepsi, please go away, please. Cat wants food. It's so irritating when he wants food. Where was I? Oh yeah, so I thought, am I going to have to ring up the triage unit? Because I've spoken to the midwife about this before, because I've probably mentioned in previous weeks, there's been a couple of times where he's worried me slightly with the reduced movements and everything. But nothing like too drastic, and I've always thought, you know, it's probably me worrying, I'm sure everything's fine, blah blah blah. But I've spoken to the midwife about it, and she said if it does if you do get reduced movements, you must ring the triage, and reduced movements would constitute as feeling less than 10 a day. And then if you are feeling less than 10, have a lie down. If that doesn't work, an ice drink, and then you should feel 2 movements within like the half an hour of drinking the drink. So I did all this and there was still nothing. So I was like, oh. And like part of me was like, I don't want to ring up and waste people's time because I'm sure everything's fine. But then also, if you don't ring up and something was wrong, you'd never forgive yourself, would you? So I thought, I'll ring up and just get some advice from them. Only because the midwife had been like, so like, you must ring up if there's a problem, they'll be happy to help, blah blah blah. So I rang up the triage, and this is at the hospital rather than the doctors, so we have to go into Gloucester Hospital for anything like that. And I spoke to a midwife there, explained everything, explained like I'd been feeling a bit rubbish, and I don't know whether that was like correlated or not, but there'd been some reduced movements and I hadn't felt anything so far that morning, which was unusual. And so she said that she went through, like, asked questions like, had there been any bleeding, any cramping, anything like that, which there wasn't. Apart from this reduced movement, like, there was nothing, no other signs or anything. So she said what was probably best if I just popped up and they could do a short trace just for reassurance, basically. So I went up, and it's nice. They've like the Women's Centre is like a brand new wing on the hospital. Not quite sure when it opened, but it's a new wing, and quite nice from what I saw anyway. She took my blood pressure, temperature, and put the Doppler on. Got a nice strong heartbeat on the Doppler. Blood pressure completely normal, but my temperature was quite high. Then she set up the machine to put the trace on baby, and it's like if you've watched One Born Every Minute or anything like that, it's exactly the same. So you have like the 2 straps, one blue, one pink. One monitor bit goes across the top, and that monitors for any contractions of the uterus, and then the other one monitors the heartbeat. So she'd had a nice strong heartbeat on the right hand side from using the Doppler, and she'd had a feel around, and baby was still breech. But when she put on the trace machine heartbeat thing, he wasn't having any of it. So honestly, it must have took almost 10 minutes. And she was like getting really frustrated. She was like, this is ridiculous now. She was like moving it around. Like sometimes she'd get like a very faint heartbeat, but then he'd be off or wiggle or something, so the machine couldn't pick it up. So she was there for ages trying to sort out this, to get the machine to register his heartbeat. And in the end, she had to pop it on the left-hand side, so it was sort of angled across his tummy, and picked it up from there, but because it was at such a silly little angle, couldn't put the strap on to hold it, so I had to hold it in place myself for the like 20 minutes or so. But anyway, so that all worked out fine. Did the trace and everything was completely normal. After she like had a good prod around and like, because they have a good feel of your tummy to see where baby is and everything. After she'd done that, it seemed to wake him up typically. I was like, I knew this was going to happen. So during the duration of the trace, I probably felt, I'd say 3 movements. So I was like, oh great, it's fine. But on the actual printout, there were loads of movements. So I don't know whether it's like he was in a funny position or something, but she said, could you feel them? I was like, no, I felt probably 3, but nowhere near what came on the printout. So this is what you get on the trace, if you can see that. Let me fold it so I can hold it a bit better. The one up here is the heartbeat, the baby's heartbeat, and that's normal. She said what would be worrying there is if it went down before it came up, but they always go up and then down, so that's normal. And then the one right at the bottom here is the uterus, so there's no contractions going on there. And then these little black marks, if you can see them across here, each one of those is a movement. So you can see there's loads on there. And so she says that's completely normal reading, and she was really happy. I don't know whether it was something to do because I was ill. She made me take some paracetamol whilst I was there to bring the temperature down. So what I think is probably because I'd been feeling under the weather. Either baby had been a bit more quiet because I was feeling rubbish, or I just hadn't felt so much. I mean, it did seem that he was in a funny position from where she couldn't get him for ages. But naughty baby. But anyway, so I felt much better after that, and at least like I know he's okay. I think, you know, I don't want to waste anybody's time, but I wouldn't have forgiven myself if there had been a problem, and lots of people do, so it's best to go and get checked out. And she said, before I left, she said if you're worried again, just come back and check him again. But then typically yesterday, so Saturday, he was there kicking around more than he's done all week. So he's definitely a little character, and hopefully he's not going to be that naughty when he comes out. But saying that, I am very, very, very excited because we're now 3/4 of the way through. So there's only 10 weeks to go before we get to meet him. I'm so excited. It's like, doesn't seem very long at all. I was like thinking back when we reached 10 weeks of pregnancy, and I was so excited then to get into double figures. And now we're almost back in single figures. It's like, it's amazing. I'm so excited. We didn't have our antenatal class last Monday because the midwife had to cancel. Unfortunately, she had someone in her family that was quite ill, so she couldn't make it. So we've got our last one tomorrow, and she's going to do the 2 weeks in one. She said last week's would have only been an hour anyway, which was supposed to be pain relief and stuff, so she'll do that this week, along with breastfeeding, and I forgot what else she said. So we've got that tomorrow. Aiden, as I said, doesn't get home till quite late, so we might just be 10-15 minutes late to that. He's going to see if he can leave a little bit early, but I don't think it matters too much. Pregnancy buys this week. I've been more restrained, not got too much. I did buy a mobile for the cot. It's a Nojo one. It's musical, and it's obviously nautical themed, so little boats, and there's a monkey a whale and a little dolphin. Very cute, so I'll set that up at some point. We haven't done anything else in the nursery yet, like with the shelves and the pictures and things. Hayley, who's going to come over to help with that, has been poorly. She's got some lurgy things, so not done that yet. And that's about it for this week. Hopefully next week going to be less eventful with illness, and the cat is very distracting. And naughty babies, and I shall update you on that. We'll have we'd have been to the class, so I can tell you how that went, and anything else. I think work hopefully will be back to normal. Hopefully the other lady will be better this week. I'm thinking starting maternity leave probably sort of early April. Originally I was thinking, oh, I can just go on till the end, but it started now, you know, just a little bit difficult, so I'm thinking probably by April I'm gonna have had enough, and I also just want like a couple of weeks where I can just relax and get everything ready. Oh, so exciting. So I'll speak to you next week. Please thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you then. Bye bye.